from a sports point of view, it was important, obviously, after the mini break to find our feedback as quick as possible. Training looks really, really good in the moment. It's actually what we expected. The boys didn't lose a lot from their physical abilities. We are really pleased that we found this caliber of opponent. The boys have to fight, have to dig deep. We just want to see that the boys use the things we think they should use in a game. And yeah, first chance, honors of 20 seconds.
Some setting, isn't it? The first chance is now just half an hour away. This is where it all kicks off for Liverpool as they face VfB Stuttgart, and it's live only here on LFC TV and LFC TV Go. Welcome to Matchday Live. The Premier League champions are back, and if you're watching us across social media and you want your fix again and you're not yet an LFC TV subscriber, then head over to liverpoolfc.com to liverpoolfc.com/watch for all the details you need. You can tell I've been out of practice for a while. Almost time again though, and less than a month since we finished at Newcastle. The Premier League title defence begins again in just 3 weeks' time. Neil Mellor is back with us in a shortened version of the summer, but we can't wait to get started.
I know. It was a great end, wasn't it, to last season, lifting the trophy. Brilliant season. Just seems a little bit strange, doesn't it, the fact that the Champions League hasn't finished. Of course, Paris Saint-Germain have got Bayern Munich, and yet our pre-season games are kicking off. We've got the Charity Shield to come very soon as well. So great to see the football back, though.
Quite unusual as well at this time of year, because you know it's kind of mix and match. Some of the players aren't back, but wait till you see the strength of this Liverpool team that starts today, and is always the case with this stage of the season as well. You'll see two different teams. This is the 11 that will start that first half though, and it's star-studded. No Trent Alexander-Arnold, so an interesting opportunity of course for Nico Williams to start, maybe even play the second half as well. Is there a method behind this, do you think, Neil, the fact that he starts almost as strong as he can with the first 11?
Well, it's unusual, isn't it? Because this is pre-season, yet we usually find players are away with international duty, international tournaments, friendlies, and yet this year he's probably got the strongest lineup he's ever been able to face, which is a positive, because you think about last pre-season, it was really disrupted. The lads want to be on the training ground, they want to be getting back to it, refocusing for the new season, and this for me is perfect. I think if Stuttgart are looking at that, they're thinking, can't believe how strong that lineup is, but yeah, it's a chance for the lads just to get the legs going again. And it's great news for the younger players, Curtis Jones and Nico Williams, who get the chance to play with a really strong lineup there.
Tsimikas as well, the left back that we're all looking forward to seeing in the second half as well. It's a bit of an intriguing situation, that one, isn't it, to see how quickly he adapts? Yeah,
it will be. No pressure, you know, it's his first game in pre-season. He's had just under a week now to get used to the training, get used to the lads, the manager, what's expected. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he copes with that second half.
Standard of the team, of the opposition as well in Stuttgart, because I think there's a bit of fortune with it that they just so happen to be in that part of the world as well. But usually at this stage of the pre-season, you'd be coming up against League Two sides, wouldn't you?
Yeah, very much so. I think it was Tranmere, wasn't it? The first pre-season game last season. I think what's a good thing is when you look at Stuttgart there, and there's not too many household names in there. They've only just been promoted back to the Bundesliga. A little bit similar, maybe, opposition to what we'll face on day one of the Premier League season. Leeds United come into Anfield, and you think about the high they will be on with confidence, and I think it'll be a little bit similar with Stuttgart. It's only a pre-season game, but I think confidence-wise, having been promoted, I think they'll be flying, thinking, oh brilliant, we've been promoted, and a chance to play against Liverpool.
How ready will Liverpool players be, do you think? That they've had 6 days, and he's spoken, the manager, about the fact that they will use this opportunity to train as much as they can. They're coming back a lot fitter than they used to in bygone eras, aren't they? But how ready for a first semi-competitive game will they be?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me will be mentally. Liverpool have been absolutely brilliant for 2 seasons now. We won the Champions League, won the Premier League. Now mentally we've got a reset. That's all gone now in the past. It's a case of refocusing. Physically, I don't think there's any doubt that the players will be in good condition. The diet's there, they're certainly looking after themselves. Mentally, refocus for what's going to be another big season ahead for the lads.
Important that most of the squad will get the chance to play, and we're seeing players come in that have been, you know, spending a year away from Liverpool as well, whether they're potentially impressing new employers or putting a seed of thought in Jurgen Klopp's mind that maybe they could be decent additions for next year.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, you're looking at the starting lineup, Curtis Jones and Nico Williams. You know, obviously Trent's injured at the moment. Nico is a possible player with the Euros next year. He wants more game time, but he's great cover for somebody like Trent. But then the second half team, you're thinking perhaps with the changes that will be made, there's more players there that have an opportunity to try and be part of Liverpool's first team plans this year. The transfer windows are extended this year, which will give them a little bit longer rather than perhaps a low move or even being sold.
Liverpool players will be or are out warming up at the moment as well. You might have impressions as to what the Austrian weather would be like at the moment, but it's absolutely teeming down there. This looks something a bit like we normally see in an under-23s game on a Wednesday night, some part of Preston, but the conditions will make things a bit interesting.
Yeah, and I think a good point to note is as well that we finished the season, didn't we, with no fans inside the stadium, which was very different, very unusual for the players. And games like this are almost the perfect opportunity, knowing that there isn't any fans there again, just to be ready to go again for that first game against Leeds. We started brilliantly last season. What was it? Was it 8 games in a row we won in the Premier League? We started that well, and teams were trying to catch us, got nowhere near us. I think it'll be the case again. Want to get off to a flyer against Leeds, but this is where it all starts. Get those levels up so that they're ready to go.
Looking forward to this one today. And as we know, Jurgen Klopp loves this period. It's his chance to hone the plans for the new campaign at a secluded training camp. Today will give him a real indication as to what there is left for him to do. Let's hear from him now.
Jurgen, nice surroundings, great opposition and football weather. Not a bad way to start the new football season.
English football weather. It's slightly warmer than we used to know, but as long as there's no lightning coming up, because an hour ago, so it was pretty frightening. I think when the lightning is coming back, Mo Salah will be even quicker than usually off the pitch then. But apart from that, no, perfect circumstances. Really nice of Stuttgart that they do it because they are on the way to the camp. Actually, they have to drive after the game a few more miles to get there, and so a really good opponent, of course. 3 weeks in training, 1 week in training will be a difference, but it's a challenge and that's what we wanted.
What's the thinking behind your team selection, and can we expect a different 11 in the second half?
Oh yes, we will change completely in half time. So Gini on 6 in the second half makes sense because Hendo is not here, and if something happens in there, so he should have played it at least once because apart from Fabinho, he's done the option for us. So that's the reason. Starting then with Gini and Mille in the second half is experience and leadership on the pitch for a pretty young side. But that's it pretty much. Apart from that, we don't change now 5 million times in this moment. We train a week, we play in a week, so we should just try to do what we do on as high level as possible. And it's strange, but we are standing here in Austria, and in 1 week, pretty much the same time, we play for silverware. And we have another 7 days to make sure that we will have the right mindset for that.
Just with that in mind, obviously these games help with fitness before the start of the season, but are you also looking for tactical elements in the performance as well?
Yeah, of course, it's what we always do. We shouldn't have lost a lot of these kind of things because we had only 2.5 weeks off or something like that. So the things with now in this short period of time, there's no time for changes or stuff like this. You have just to make sure that your strengths are there again, and we will have much fresher legs than in the end of the season. But it was pretty intense the first week. We had didn't count, but I think apart from 1-2 days, we trained every day twice, which is pretty intense for the first week of a pre-season. But we have no time, not enough time to prepare the boys really. So we need to use the time we have. And yeah, we will see how the boys are. In training look good. You saw it as well. Training look good. Training look sharp. That's what I want to see today again. But again, it's now competition, and again, new year, new season, new challenge, new chances. Nice. And hopefully first whistle in time. So we will see.
Fingers crossed. Enjoy.
Well, it's 3 weeks till we go again. Your football fix is on the way. Liverpool, Stuttgart on the way right here on LFC TV. Stay right where you are.
Pre-seasons are always hard, but everybody is happy to be back to defend the season we had last season, and yeah, it's very difficult. But now is time again to work, and everybody's happy.
I am very excited to start again. Very good to be back with the boys. This training session, this intensity. So it's a bit hard in the beginning, but this will help us a lot in the season.
Hey man, go away now.
Rudy.
Yeah, it's looked really tough, the training camp so far. They've had lots of sun and they've been in the vests all week. They've swapped those for the waterproofs today, but an imperative part of Jurgen Klopp's planning this next few weeks, chance to get a bit closer to match fitness ahead, would you believe, of the Community Shield curtain raiser next weekend. Decent opposition for Liverpool, which kind of dictates the theme of the starting 11. We'll see two different teams across the two halves today. Very strong Liverpool 11 that starts the game there today as well. Nico Williams will have an interesting opportunity, won't he, over the next week or so. May potentially play the majority of the game as well with no Trent Alexander-Arnold. Look out for Billy Kumateu, he gets an opportunity as well. He's been spoken of very fondly by the manager this week, wearing number 89. Neil Mellor's seen an awful lot of him during his academy, and it's quite an interesting one as well, isn't it? He's a bit of a man mountain and might potentially get an opportunity to play for the new Premier League champions today.
And that's the big thing for pre-season. You know, for a lot of the young players, they may not get an opportunity, so you have to impress the first team staff when you get that opportunity. And pre-season is that perfect chance. And if you impress the manager, he thinks he's come back with the right sort of attitude, you'll get minutes when perhaps you wouldn't have thought. So especially when it's such a strong lineup. I think in years gone by, when so many players have been away on international duty, young players have thought, I will get that game time. A little bit different this year with how strong the current squad is at the moment. Of course, a few unfortunate injuries we do have though.
Big learning curve for him, and he'll be hoping very much that he gets the opportunity to play with the next fella that we're about to hear from, Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil, just how excited are you to officially start the new season with this friendly this evening?
Very excited. Of course, it's always it's good to be out there again, competing, try and win the game. It's going to be tough. Good side. Obviously, it's good for us towards our preparation for the Community Shield, so we're all looking forward to it.
Moment where you really put last season in the past now and focus on the future?
Yeah, I think we already did that already last week. I think where we came together and we focused on what's coming now and what's ahead of us. So we are looking forward to what's tonight and obviously the future as well.
How's training been since you've been back?
pretty tough, but it's good. We try to lay the foundation for the whole season, so we have to work hard, we have to double sessions and everything, but everyone's enjoying it, and we all know we need it as well, and we have to make sure you're more than ready for a very, very tough season.
And what are you looking to get from tonight's game, just getting back into the game rhythm, I guess?
Yeah, rhythm. Obviously, no one wants to lose a game, so we're going to try and win every game that's ahead of us. But yeah, it's something that we want to perform on our level. We want to do well, try to do the things we always want to do, and and obviously everyone gets their minutes tonight as well. So it's good to see everyone in action too.
Brilliant, enjoy.
Cheers.
There you go, Virgil van Dijk speaking to us just a few moments ago. How important is this first game? When you come back from a pre-season, is it more a psychological barrier after a couple of weeks off that you just want to get your touch right and just get back out there again? Yeah,
I think Virgil mentioned it there, didn't he? He still wants to win the game. You want that every time you're out there, but it's a case of just getting going again. You're not expected for your first touch to be quite there. That sharpness that you will want for that first game when it all kicks off against Leeds, but it's just getting the minutes back out because they've been back training, which he said was being quite intense, but that first game, all of a sudden it's match situations. The opposition will certainly raise their game, albeit at pre-season, because they've got a chance to impress against the English champions.
He spoke as well about some of the conversations they've been having off the pitch. How important is that period when you're all together as a group of lads to set those targets?
Yeah, I mean, I'm made up for this pre-season. I know it's strange times, but I think the fact that we've got all the key players there together, the team bonding. I think they've had a table tennis tournament, and they're getting that understanding, that bond. It's already really close, isn't it, at Liverpool? We've seen that over the last couple of seasons. But when lads are in different parts of the world and they come back a week before the season starts, it's not ideal. But I think this will make them even stronger to say, we are going to get going for that first game.
Is that maybe the reason why he was so many smiles before the game there? It's quite a unique situation. As we mentioned at the top, you know, these are usually situations where you might have 3-4 players coming back late, and it can kind of be a little bit stop-start, that pre-season.
But we've seen it, and he mentioned it there, and the manager likes it. He wants the players to work extremely hard, certainly pre-season or on the training ground, so when they go and replicate that on the pitch, they know exactly what is expected. Liverpool played a lot of games last season. You think about the amount of competitions, and that can limit the time on the training pitch. This is the perfect preparation for a long season ahead. We're hoping, of course, to go again for the title, the European games as well to look forward to. So a lot of games ahead, and this is when they'll look back and say, some of those tough sessions, double sessions almost every day, really paid off for the season.
Injury prevention's a big part of that as well, isn't it? You know, we've been, people say, so lucky with injuries. There's obviously a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. That's the key thought in the players' minds. They want to come through this camp without any niggles at all.
Exactly that. First game of the season, you want to be available for selection. That is the big thing. You want to be sharp. You want to have done the hard work, but you want to be fit, raring to go. You think about the injuries we've got at the moment. Young Trent, not sure how long that will be. Jordan Henderson just getting back up to speed. Matip, Oxlade-Chamberlain. All of a sudden, there's 4 players. You don't need a couple more to add to that list. And you're thinking that perhaps you could miss a key player for when the season does start.
Curtis Jones, looking forward to seeing a bit more from him in this next few weeks.
He was excellent, wasn't he? Think about last season. I was there for his big moment against Everton, and that gave him the confidence, scoring a wonderful goal like that. I think for Curtis, the biggest thing for him and his development was not going out on loan. Could quite easily have gone to any maybe Championship club last season. He stayed at Liverpool and was part of a squad that won the Premier League title. He's around players, Salah, Mane, Firmino, and knows what the standards are all about to win the Premier League title. That was invaluable for him. Now, he's got to try and be involved for a few more minutes this season, but I think we'll see that, again, another chance for him to impress.
Really looking forward to this one. A bit of rain, which is not all that usual for pre-season, particularly over in Austria at the moment, where they've had sun all week, but a really important next 90 minutes for them. If you've not subscribed yet, you still have time to do so. LiverpoolFC.com/watch. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.